Unit 5 Review, Question 31. Javier has a 5-gallon bucket. If he fills it 2/3 of the way to the top, how much water is in the bucket? So here's a bucket. Let's just try to picture this. Okay. So if the height of the bucket, or actually not the height, the capacity of the bucket, it's not 5 gallons high, this would hold 5 gallons. Okay. And he fills it 2/3 of the way to the top. So we could think of cutting this into 3 pieces. Okay. And he would fill it, this is 1/3, 2/3, and all the way would be 3/3. And he'd fill it to here. So we want to know, make it blue because it's water. We want to know how many gallons would fill it up to here. Okay. So notice that it may seem different from the mile situation because we're talking about gallons, but we want to find 2/3 of 5 gallons. Okay. So notice the 3 is breaking the 5 gallons, dividing by 3 into 3 equal pieces, and then we take 2 copies of those to find 2/3. So 2/3 times 5. Put that over 1. There's no common factor, so 2 times 5 is 10. 3 times 1 is 3. Rewrite as a mixed number. 3 goes into 10 3 times with a remainder of 1, and we have 3 1/3 gallons. Okay, and that seems to make sense. Okay, so dividing in thirds, that would be 5/3 to here, 10/3 to there, 15/3 to there. Let's look at the next one. Greg ran 8 miles this month. If he ran 4/3 of a mile every day he ran, our question, how many days did Greg run? Okay, so here we have a number line, and it's broken down from 0 to 8, and it's broken into thirds, because we know that the total amount he ran was from 0 to 8. Okay. Now we want to break this into pieces of size 4/3, because every time he ran 4/3 of a mile. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I just broke those into groups of 4/3. So this would be the first day, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, and sixth day. Okay, so what did we just do arithmetically? We took the 8 and we divided it into pieces of size 4/3. Okay, so now let's perform this by, we'll rewrite 8 as 8 over 1. For division, we change division to multiplication and reciprocate the second fraction. Okay. Now there's a common factor here I'm going to cancel out. These two numbers have a common factor of 4, so 4 divided by 4 is 1, 8 divided by 4 is 2. Now we'll multiply across. 2 times 3 is 6, 1 times 1 is 1, so our answer is 6. And going back to the question, that was measured in days, so he ran 6 days, and that corresponds to our diagram. Let's look at the next problem. Question 33, use the order of operations to evaluate the expressions. So now we have fractional expressions. We want to use the order of operations. The order of operations apply no matter what type of numbers you're using. We've used this on integers and whole numbers, and the same rules apply. Okay, so here we have subtraction and addition. We perform them from left to right. So first I'm going to do this on the side. 4/9 minus 2/3. Let me highlight what we're doing though. So I'm going to start with this operation. Okay. Well, they need a common denominator of 9. So 4/9, I'm going to multiply 2/3 by 3 over 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. Now I subtract the numerators. 4 minus 6 is -2. keep the denominator of 9. So now, even though this is negative 2 over 9, we usually write it as negative 2/9 plus negative 7/9. Okay. Now, these two fractions have the same denominator, so we can just add the numerators. Okay. We can think of we're adding two negatives and the answer will be negative, or another way to think of this is to say negative 2 over 9 plus negative 7 over 9. So we could put the negatives out front. It's written very out front there, or we can move it to the top or bottom. So I just moved them to the top, and this is negative 9 over 9. Okay, so we have negative 9 over 9, and 9 divided by 9 is 1, and a negative divided by a positive is negative. So our result is negative 1. Let's look at the next one. Okay, here we have an exponent, division, and multiplication. We do the exponent first, and then we'll do the division and multiplication from left to right, so division first. So again, we'll do some of this work on the side so it doesn't get too messy. Starting with the exponent, 2/3 squared means 2/3 times 2/3. Multiply across, and we have 4/9. So now 4/9 divided by 2/9 times negative 3/8. Next, we'll do the division. Okay. So we'll do this on the side. Let's use a different color. So 4/9 divided by 2/9. Okay, we learned a few ways to do this, but I'm going to use the old standby, change division to multiplication, and reciprocate the fraction. Now we'll cancel out common factors. And notice we're just left with 2 over 1, or 2. So this is just 2 times negative 3/8. And now this last multiplication, we'll do this right here. I'm going to put the 2 over 1, just so we could see the numerators and denominators better. Okay, it's a positive times a negative, so our result is negative. Now I'll just look at the numbers. So 2 and 8 have a common factor of 2, so I divide by 2, divide by 2. Now I'm going to multiply across. 1 times 3 is 3, and 1 times 4 is 4. So our result is negative 3/4. Let's look at the next one. So first we have to do what's in parentheses, which is 2 minus 8/5. Okay. So we need to give them a common denominator. 2 currently is over 1. So to write 2 is something over 5, notice I would multiply by 5. So I could write 2 as 10/5. Okay. Oh, I chose fifths because notice 8/5 is written over 5, so I wanted them both to have a denominator of 5. So 10/5 minus 8/5. Subtract the numerators, gives us 2, and keep the denominator, which is 5. So this is just 2/5 squared. Okay. And so now we just perform the exponent. That means multiply 2 factors of 2/5. 2 times 2 is 4, and 5 times 5 is 25. Let's look at the last one. Here we have subtraction and an exponent, so we do the exponent first. So I'll do this on the side. So 1/2 squared means 1/2 times 1/2, which is 1/4. So now we have 1 minus 1/4. Okay. In order to subtract these, I need to have a common denominator. Okay, so I'm going to write 1. I want it to have, right now it's 1 over 1. I want it to have a denominator of 4. So notice I'd multiply by 4. So 1 is 4/4. 1 is actually any number over itself. So 4 over 4 minus 1/4. 4 minus 1 is 3, and keep the denominator of 4. Okay? And that's our end result.